Welcome. I wanted to create this short video for those of you who have been requesting tips and tricks to kick up to a handstand. Now, I consider handstand to very much be a project pose for most people. Unless you have a background of gymnastics or acrobatics, it's likely been a while since you've worked on this pose. So I'll show you a few of my favorite ways, and in time, I'll do a larger, longer video to show you more tips and tricks. For today, please warm up before this video. I'm just going to jump into a few ways that I like to kick up to handstand. Start facing a wall, and you want to be roughly one hand's distance away from the wall. Come into downward facing dog pose. Press back and extend your spine. Step one foot in roughly halfway. Look to the wall and shift your shoulders over your wrists. Take your kicking leg up, keep it as straight as possible. Hop off of your standing leg and kick up. Now, it doesn't often go quite as smooth as this for your first few times, and that's okay. Come down as slowly as you can. And I'll show you on my difficult side. Be sure to switch legs, step in halfway, look forward, shift your shoulders over your wrists. And what it likely looks a little bit more like is little hops. Little hops. Try to get more hang time each time you kick up. And then once you make it to the wall, squeeze your feet towards each other and lift up the wall. Attempt to come down slowly and rest either standing forward bend or child's pose. Now, for my students with tighter hamstrings, kicking up one leg at a time can be difficult. If you don't have the flexibility to get your leg higher, you actually have to work harder to kick up. So this next version is a bent leg kick up. And I think it's a really fun way to practice this pose. I'm even going to step it down one level, and instead of thinking handstand, which can be intimidating to some people, I want you to think kick your heels to your hips. We'll still start in a downward facing dog position. Same distance from the wall. For this version, you're going to walk in, again, roughly halfway, but you'll keep your feet together and you'll bend your knees rather quite generously. Like before, look forward and shift your shoulders over your wrists. Bend your knees, keeping your knees bent, attempt to kick your heels to your hips. And much like the previous pose, it might just be a few hops. And then we start to get a little hang time. For those of you that are more advanced, maybe pull your feet away from the wall and balance. All right. In this video, I'll show you two more ways to attempt this pose, and I'm going to decrease the intensity for these next two. They're both poses that I call L pose at the wall. The first one is a standing L pose, which if you can do a downward facing dog, you'll be able to take this version at the wall. Start facing the wall, take your hands to the wall, and walk back until you can sink down with your torso roughly parallel to the ground. You can even bend your knees in this version. root your hands into the wall and then press your hips towards the center of the room. Corset your waist. As you root into your palms, externally rotate your upper arms. Breathe. 3, 2, and 1. Slowly come back up. This version is going to help you train upper body strength. And because you're standing, it's not a true inversion, but sometimes we make certain elements easier to really go after other elements. Now, this next pose is an L pose at the wall. Here you're going to be bearing weight on your hands. Start on your hands and your knees. Have your toes tucked under and your feet at the wall. Set your hands like downward facing dog. And then lift up into a very short downward facing dog. 1 foot at a time. Take your foot hips height and take your other foot hips height. Root into your palms, straighten your elbows, externally rotate your upper arms. And as you're ready, straighten your legs. Draw your navel in. Root into your palms and stretch your hips up. Now for more challenge, take one leg to the ceiling and reach up. Take a few breaths. Return that leg. Opposite leg up. Root into your palms. Reach up. And both feet to the wall. And then walk down slowly and rest in child's pose. I hope this was helpful, and I'll make another handstand tutorial soon. Thanks for watching.